When I meet with clients who are considering filing for divorce, I find that money problems are very often the main cause of their marital problems. Credit cards, medical debt, and home mortgage debt are the most common sources of money problems. When a couple is considering divorce, I discuss whether or not filing a bankruptcy before the divorce would make the process easier. I also need to find out whether or not filing the bankruptcy jointly is possible. Divorce is expensive, not just paying for divorce attorneys, but paying separate living expenses, additional child care, as well as child support and alimony. Prior to divorcing, many clients realize that they will not be able to pay their credit card debts after they're divorced. The same is true of their home mortgage. The first step is to make sure the couple gets along well enough to file a joint bankruptcy. If there is too much distrust or hostility, it may not be possible to file a joint bankruptcy. The next step is to check both spouses' credit reports. If all or most of the debt is only one spouse's name, then it may not be necessary for both to file the bankruptcy. Joint debt is debt that's in both parties' names. Joint debt can arise in several ways. The most common joint debt is a credit card in both spouses' names. An additional cardholder is usually liable for the debt under the fine print of the credit card, even if the card is not in their name. Liability for a mortgage or home equity loan is determined by who signs the note. Medical debt in the state of Connecticut is the responsibility of both spouses. It is possible for the divorce court to order one spouse to pay the debts of another spouse. That type of order is generally not dischargeable in bankruptcy. Filing bankruptcy before the divorce avoids these problems. If home mortgage debt is owed jointly, that is another reason to consider filing bankruptcy jointly. If one spouse gets the home in the divorce and years later decides they can't afford the home, then the spouse who did not get the home could still be liable on the mortgage debt. This is particularly a problem in Fairfield County, where property values have dropped so dramatically. Many divorce attorneys in Fairfield and New Haven counties ask me to meet with their clients to discuss bankruptcy. Whenever possible, I like to meet with both spouses to evaluate whether or not filing jointly is a good idea. Divorce can be a painful process, but I try and make that process a little less painful.